The girl stops the man and says, "Thank goodness, boss. I finally found you." The boss looks surprised and asks, "What happened to you? Why are you so out of breath?" The secretary says seriously, "You showed me a picture of this woman and asked me to find her. I found her." The man is startled and says, "Really? It's actually her. Where is she? Take me to her right now." The secretary hesitates before saying, "But boss, it looks like she's already married. I saw her with a man." The boss asks in shock, "She's married? Well, that's okay. Take me to her. There's something I need to ask her myself." The secretary nods. "Okay, sir, let's go." A few moments later, the secretary points ahead and says, "Boss, look, that's her." The woman walks up to a man and says, "Tired? Here, have some water." The secretary quietly says, "Boss, I think that's her husband." The boss calms himself and says, "It's okay. I won't interfere in her life. Go get the gift I specially prepared for her from the car. At the very least, I want her to receive it." The secretary nods and walks away. Meanwhile, the woman smiles and says, "Drink slowly. Look how tan you've gotten. Pick the vegetables in a little while. I'll go home and make lunch for you." The man replies affectionately, "The sun is really strong today. Head home before you end up getting sunburned too." The woman smiles and walks away. The boss follows her from a distance. When she reaches her house, he stops nearby, takes out his phone, and calls her. As soon as she answers, he starts to speak. She immediately cuts him off and says, "I know it's you. Why are you calling?" He answers calmly, "No reason. I just wanted to see if this number still worked." "How have you been?" She replies loudly, "I'm doing great. I eat well. I dress well. I always thought you'd become successful." The man looks confused. "What?" She quickly changes the subject. "Nothing. If you're doing okay, then I'm hanging up." He tries to stop her. She asks, "What is it?" He says softly, "I'm getting married next month. Will you come to my wedding?" Her voice trembles as she replies, "Of course. Why wouldn't I? Send me the invitation. I'll wish you nothing but happiness." She immediately hangs up. After ending the call, she walks away looking disappointed. Seeing her leave, the man approaches and calls out, "Mung Mung." She turns around in shock. "What are you doing here?" He calmly replies, "I just came to remind you not to forget my wedding." She says softly, "I already promised you on the phone. Why did you come all the way here just for that?" He hesitates before saying, "I mean, bring your husband with you too." She looks confused. "My husband? Sure, I'll bring him." He lowers his voice. "There's something else I want to ask you." She suddenly gets angry. "What's wrong with you? You're about to get married. Why are you bringing up all of this?" The man says sadly, "Back then, your mother rejected me because I didn't have 188,000 yuan, and you left without saying a single word. Did you really leave me just because I couldn't afford that money?" She yells, "What are you trying to accomplish by bringing this up now?" He calmly explains, "Do you remember the suit you gave me? This morning when I put on the coat I found this." She asks angrily, "So?" He stares at her in disbelief. "You were pregnant? Why didn't you tell me?" She raises her voice. "So much time has passed. Why are you digging all this up now?" He says seriously, "Then, do you have the courage to read this letter in front of me?" She replies loudly, "If I read it, will you leave?" He nods. Yes. She takes the letter from him and begins reciting it from memory without even looking at it. "Yang, thank you for coming into my life. Back then, you lived in a tiny underground room that cost only 300 yuan a month. Our lives were filled with poverty. We were so poor that whenever I got a piece of bread from home, I would secretly save it and bring it to you. I would give half to you and eat the other half myself. Even then, I felt incredibly lucky. When you said life was hard, I endured those hardships right beside you. When you said you were tired, I became your strength and stood by your side. And I swore that in this lifetime I would never marry anyone except you." The woman looks at him seriously and says, "The letter is finished. Now you can go." The man says sadly, "I know there's still a place for me in your heart. Can't we go back to the way things used to be?" The woman replies with pain in her voice, "Go back to the way things were? You're the one who said you're getting married. How could things ever be the same again?" The man calmly says, "You left that letter behind and disappeared without saying a word. For all these years, I kept thinking you had found someone better than me." The woman cuts him off angrily. "Enough. Let me give you a piece of advice. When love exists, don't go looking for proof that it doesn't. And when love is gone, don't go searching for signs that it still exists. Yang, listen to me. You're about to get married. Cherish the person standing in front of you. I sincerely wish you happiness." With that, she turns to leave. The man quickly stops her. "Wait, Mung Mung, what I said about getting married, that was a lie." The woman freezes in shock. "What?" Suddenly, the man points ahead and says, "Mung Mung, weren't you supposed to be going home to cook? And who is that?" Just as she is about to answer, the secretary walks over. "Boss, excuse me. I need to speak with you for a moment." The boss calmly asks, "Did you bring the things I asked for?" The secretary hands him some documents. "Yes, sir. These are the property papers, and this card contains the 1 million yuan you asked me to prepare." The man signals for the secretary to leave, then turns back to Mung Mung. "Mung Mung, over the years I've become very successful. I bought a house and set aside some money for you. I've been searching for you all this time. I always believed that one day I'd find you again, and when I did, I planned to give all of this to you and ask you to marry me. But I never expected that you'd already be married. So now, I'll give it all to you, and I'll ask your husband to take good care of you." The other man looks confused and says, "Wait, what are you talking about? What husband?" Then he turns to Mung Mung and asks, sis, is this Yang the guy you've been in love with all these years? As Mung Mung nods, Yang asks in disbelief, you're really her brother? The man smiles and replies, yes, I'm her brother. Mung Mung never got married. She's been waiting for you all these years. Our family introduced her to countless potential matches, but she turned every one of them down. Yang becomes emotional. You waited all these years for me? Then everything I brought here today wasn't for nothing. Mung Meng, will you marry me? Her brother gently says, you waited 7 years for him. This time, listen to your heart. Don't make a decision you'll regret later. The woman blushes and says softly, I will. The moment she says yes, Yang smiles brightly. 7 years of waiting has finally come to an end. Come on, let's go get our marriage license. I can't wait any longer to have you by my side. Friends, life teaches us that rushed decisions and unspoken feelings can lead to years of separation. Before walking away from someone you truly care about, make sure you know the whole truth and have the courage to speak from your heart. Sometimes, fate gives us back the very person we've been waiting for all along.